Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading today for Leo energy. So you may find that this reading resonates if you've got strong Leo in your chart. For example, if you've got sun sign Leo or any major placements. The idea of this reading is kind of an out with the old, in with the new reading for the new year. So leaving 2022 behind and going forward into 23 with the lessons but without the baggage. So you definitely seem to be going through a kind of an inward, introspective moment, which feels quite safe to you. You feel like you're kind of creating your reality from within, and having this kind of shift, which is quite interesting. You do feel very, very kind of philosophical. Your reading isn't like, I went down to the corner shop and met Barbara. I don't know why I said Barbara, that could be a relevant name to you, it just popped into my head. But it's more kind of esoteric, I want to say. It's kind of a little bit more about feelings and moods. So apply it as it fits and kind of leave it if it's not making any kind of sense. Like I say, it feels like an inward journey. So you do actually have the cave as the card that came out from my own deck. The cave to me is that kind of almost hermit mode, or I always associate it with those kind of like ancient Greek myths where the heroes would descend into the underworld to go on kind of a heroic journey. So it's almost like a mix of the hermit card with that kind of introspective, solitary, kind of mulling over things energy, trying to find the inner truth, mixed with the kind of Nine of Wands energy of, the warrior's journey, the heroic battle, the wounded warrior energy. So yeah, that kind of needing to do some shadow work, needing to go in and kind of fight your own inner demons, whether that's just through mulling things over in your mind, or actually, confronting something to complete some kind of cycle of inner work, or whether it's coming through in like dreams or even nightmares, because I've got this kind of like dream catcher energy coming through in my readings at the moment, or just kind of like, even kind of with the help of a therapist or something, doing some kind of regression therapy, going over the past and kind of working through those issues and having a new perspective on things. So however it kind of fits for you, it could come through in many different ways. Now there's some real positives in your reading, because you've got cards like the corn, and on the underline you've got this the sun card, which is your card in the tarot. So really, really beautiful. There is light there, right? There is hope. And I want to say you're doing something where you're connecting to your own source of power, your own inner light. Now with the cave, you also had the swan on the, sorry, I've not got enough space on my desk, so some of the cards are on the floor. I have to kind of lean away to get them. So yeah, the swan on the underlying, along with some food on there or something. So the swan is kind of like ugly duckling energy, kind of. It's really finding out who you are and not trying to be like everybody else, finding your own beauty, what makes you special, what makes you talented. I'm seeing 333 on the timestamp, so that could be significant for some of you. Watch out for repeating number patterns. There could be something for you going on with like friends, community, your social life. So again, yeah, exactly. With like the ugly duckling energy, it's like obviously the ugly duckling is not a duckling at all, it's a baby swan, but this baby swan is trying to fit in with the other ducklings, and the other ducklings are having none of it. So it could be that you've spent some time trying to impress the wrong people, or trying to fit in with a social group that doesn't really speak to your I'm hearing your inner warrior. Your inner warrior. I love that phrase. Yeah, we'll see. I do feel though, with your songs, you may have one special person who really, it's like you have this feeling of putting on a performance. So I don't know if some of you are performers, like some of you are kind of working in theatre or on the stage. It's like putting on a happy face, right? So I think, what were your songs? Let me just grab my my notes. So you have this thing about being camera ready, which is from 13 Beaches by Lana Del Rey, being camera ready most of the time. And then underneath it all, by No Doubt, they say this dress rehearsal. So it could just be kind of like all the world is stage and we are but players on it kind of energy of kind of Leo being a this big bombastic actor energy. You know, you could see life as a performance, with Leo being a sign that particularly is aware of, you know, the eyes on them, right? Of being watched, of being having things expected of you, perhaps. And I know people say that Leo has a big ego. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're super confident. I actually see Leo as being kind of hyper aware of what other people think of them, and of course sometimes that can make you very insecure. So with Leo, it's not always like you're all super confident. I guess you have your moments if you're feeling really good about yourself. They're giving me I'm the man, I'm the man. So it's The Man by the Killers, which again is like it's a brilliant song because it really is a great song for when you're really feeling it. You know, you feel like you look good, maybe you've got a new outfit on, you've just had your hair done, you know, your makeup's gone right, whatever it is, and you're like, yeah, I'm rocking it today. So you're gonna have those moments, but you're gonna have those moments where you fall and you think, or you make a prat out of yourself and you're like, I really wish I hadn't got so much attention on me because now everybody's seeing me messing up. But yeah, this energy of kind of wearing a bit of a mask out in public. Now, that's not something to be ashamed about or something to deny. You know, it's something that we all do. If you look at Carl Jung and his philosophy, he talks about the persona and the anima and the animus and all that. So we all have the persona, right? We all have the public face. And actually, I would say that the sun sign, so if you're sun sign Leo, that's your persona. I would say, actually, I would argue as a kind of mediocre astrologer, that your moon sign is your hidden self. It's your more of a true self, but it's what you keep hidden. It's what you keep behind closed doors, or, you know, you don't necessarily let everybody see that part of yourself unless they get close to you. So the sun sign is more of how you present to the world. So yeah, I feel like you and another potentially are seeing the hidden light inside each other. It's like there could be somebody around you, and again, flip it and reverse it, it's kind of going both ways, but there could be somebody around you who you feel like they see behind the mask. You know, it's like they look straight through the act and they see the real you, and they see the things that you could try to keep hidden. And what they're actually seeing is something really good about you. They're seeing your power, right? They're seeing your true power is the way it's coming through. And I feel like you have this about the other as well, because one of his songs was Underneath It All by No Doubt. And let me just pull up the lyrics to that. Oh, sorry, I've been screenshotting lyrics, so I just need a second to kind of pull it up. So it says, there's times when I want something more, someone more like me, right? Ugly duckling, you're looking for your swans, right? You're looking for your swan family. There's times when this dress rehearsal seems incomplete, but you see the colours in me like no one else. And behind your dark glasses, you're something else. So they're also wearing the dark glasses, right? They're also kind of hiding what they truly are. And you're really lovely underneath it all is that song. So yeah, with this idea of like them seeing you, right? They're seeing your, it's like they see the divinity in you. What's that thing that Yoga with Adrienne says? She says, the power in me nods to the power in you, or something like that, she says. It's that kind of energy. So let me just grab some of the underlying just to kind of show you what I mean. So with the sun card there as well, it's like they see the light inside you. They see with the divine matrix, it's like how connected you are. It's kind of, the high priestess isn't here, but I'm getting that kind of high priestess energy. And then you have dragon and power. So and with this light as well, it's like this orb of sunlight. It's like they see the light inside you is the way it's coming through. And I want to say they're also very, very connected. So you literally have this card as well here, Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. Now the Panther to me talks about, it's kind of almost like attached to kind of the id energy or the shadow energy, or the kind of the what we would say is a more basic instincts. Maybe it's like, maybe you've been watching that film, I don't know, more a basic instincts type energy, right? It's more impulsive, it's more intuitive than what our persona would normally be, because obviously our persona is kind of connected to the superego and expectations, and fitting in with social groups and things like this. So there could be something within you which is attached to your inner power, which could be seen perhaps as socially unacceptable. Obviously, I want to say laws and things are in place for a reason, but it could be maybe you've just got a really dark sense of humor, or maybe you've maybe you see things, you understand things differently to the way other people see them. And it's not that it's wrong, it's just that it's unorthodox, perhaps, is the way it's coming through. And it is kind of, it could be connected to how you deal with loss, or how you deal with grief, or how you deal with feelings of disappointment, or feelings of losing out on things, something like that. Either that, or you've experienced something that could have put you into those feelings of loss or grief or disappointment, which has made you feel disempowered, and you have to reclaim your power after experiencing some kind of what could be a betrayal there with that Ten of Swords. But I want to go to the first card in your spread, which is the Corn card. It's corn. So with this leading your spread, the meaning of the corn card is like harvest time. It's time to, sorry about the ambulance noises, it's time to reap the rewards of your hard work, right? It's time to enjoy the product of all the effort that you've been putting in over the last year. But it does give me, just because it's what's going on kind of socially and on social media at the moment, is the song It's Corn. So if you don't know that, it's, I think it's Tariq, It's Corn. It's kind of become like a viral meme. If you want to go and check it out, it's so adorable. So it starts out with this little boy who is just so enthusiastic about corn. It's like, he's like, it's the most beautiful thing. He just loves corn, and it's so sweet and so wholesome. And it's unusual for someone to be so excited about something, right, that most people wouldn't see anything special about. So I want to say your power is something that you are really enthusiastic about, that you absolutely love, and that you draw a lot of joy and enjoyment from. And it could be something really simple, but whatever that is for you, it's connected to your power. So like, do more of that. And that makes a lot of sense as well. I've been talking about kind of ugly duckling energy and finding your group of swans, right? Finding your true soulmate family. You're gonna do that more easily if you're authentic about what you're passionate about, what excites you, what you're enthusiastic about, even if it is something a bit weird. Because if you do that and you show that, it's an attractive energy. It's going to draw people to you, and more importantly, it's going to draw people to you who are also enthusiastic about the same things, right? And you can have those bonds because you all love the same thing. So corn, yeah, corn with the sun. I want to say there's a massive potential here for you to find kind of something that is truly fulfilling for you. And as I say, after this reclaim your power, it does indicate that you've felt disempowered. You felt like either your power's not been noticed, and again, you have literal like power and dragon, right, on the underlying. So definitely something to do with, I want to say, the panther as well. It is giving high priestess energy. I just kind of bring it closer. I don't know, kind of giving me that high priestess energy of like being very connected to the afterlife, or being very connected to the signs and symbols of nature. Something like this. It's like you're aware of some kind of subtleties, and you're aware of them because you, as I say, this is a crow flying around outside my window, which is so significant to what I'm about to say. It's like you see the messages from spirit, right? You're very connected to the what's beyond, right? You see beyond what most people see. So in the underlying as well, you actually have this crow card. Now the crows are, of course, messages from beyond, right? Kind of, yeah. It's coming through as a kind of almost like a nature spirit, like an earth spirit. Which I kind of comment, yeah, I'll go into that now, because you've got the world card next, right? The world card. So it's like you understand the world on a very almost like goddess Gaia energy, because you've got the divine feminine here as well. It's like you understand ecosystems, you understand like repurposing of things. You understand that death is a change, not an ending, all these kind of things, because you have, yes, there's disappointment, yes, there's grief, yes, there's, I'm hearing remorse, which is a curious one to come in. right? There are those difficult emotions of things that haven't worked out, or things that didn't go the way you wanted, because you do have the Ten of Swords as well here, right? Which is like, it can be like a betrayal, it's a painful ending, but it's got this card, the imagery of this card has this feeling of like, well, life goes on, right? Life goes on after the painful endings. If you look at the Ten of Swords card, the traditional image, the sun is rising in the background, indicating that, you know, tomorrow is another day. The world keeps turning, time keeps moving forward, if you believe time is linear. So here, if you look at these two images, and the panther spirit as well, it's almost like the panther would be concealed in the shadows, right? The panther spirit would be, it's like they would know this area on a personal level. So where most people would walk past the cornfield and be drawn to the fruit, right? The ripe fruit, almost like, it's almost like this, okay? So it's like what is seen, right? The birds and things like this are all seen. But if you went into the shadows of the undergrowth, which is the realm of the panther spirit for me, visually and metaphorically, and through imagery and things like this, they understand the darker, more shadowy world. So you can see what has happened here in this image. Yes, this animal, which is, you can't even really see what kind of animal it is. Yes, this animal has faced an ending, right? But it's like, with all these fireflies coming out of it, it reminds me of how this is a bit grim, guys, sorry, but you know how nature works. You know, if an animal dies in woodland, and it's exposed, you know, it's gonna actually, the physical body is going to become a microsystem, an ecosystem, for insects. And then, but all those insects have to have somewhere to be born. And then, of course, if you're talking about kind of life cycles and ecosystems and food chains, the birds can come and pick off the insects and feed the birds. So the eggs as well, the broken eggs, all this imagery is talking to me about how nature works. And yes, nature is sometimes ugly, and nature is sometimes cruel, and nature is sometimes gonna put you into these feelings, which is kind of the feelings of grief. I keep hearing remorse, but life, it makes me think of that vulture card. If you know the vulture card from this deck, it says nothing is ever wasted. And this is an important lesson. You've got the hunter here for the hunter to learn. So I want to say, you could have had experiences in your life where you've felt the darker side of life, right? You've touched the parts of life that people don't want to talk about, or people turn away from. If you think about, if you've ever had anyone pass away, or you've been with, you know, trying to talk to someone who's had someone pass away, it's, you don't know what to say, right? It's like we're not given the social tools to talk about this. Death is something scary. Death is something that is hidden. But you've been touched by it. So this is part of your power, I want to say. And it's not morbid, and it may appear at first to be morbid, but it's more than that. It's beyond that. It's almost, I'm hearing walking hand in hand with Mother Nature herself is the full sentence that I heard. Walking hand in hand with Mother Nature herself, and really getting close to the wisdom of that kind of Gaia energy, the world energy. I want to say there is a cycle for you that, if we bring this out of the esoteric a little bit, there could be a cycle for you that's closing, is completing. You've learned all the lessons you can from that process. And again, I think you have been processing things that have left you feeling disempowered and feeling hurt. But you have this tomorrow is another day energy, which is the meaning of the Ten of Swords, right? The sun rises. I'm hearing the sun rises at the world's close. So it's like at the day's close, right? The sun rises again. As night draws in, the sun rises again. I want to say that there is no death card here on the table. I just want to point that out to you. And as the sun rises, and again, you've got the sun on your underlying, and this is connected to your power. As the sun rises, as the new dawn appears, so do the rainbows, so do the symbols of hope and life after death, and symbols of positivity and something new. So again, obviously the rainbows appear because of the light, but the rainbows appear because of the light and the rain. So you have to have the tears, the emotions, and the hope to have the rainbows. And again, this is connected to your power, your ability to create the rainbows. And you don't create the rainbows by denying the rain, right? Does that make any sense? So it's just, there's something about the imagery of these as well, with all the kind of the birds and the kind of winged horse and the eagle, this this life after death, or tomorrow after today, or sense of going beyond, right? Going beyond the close is the way it's coming through. And so there's some imagery going on here with the World card, the Sweat Lodge, and the Cosmic Womb. And this kind of spider spirit as well. So there's something to do with the World card. It's almost like going into your own world, I want to say, going into your own psyche, going into your own version of reality, your own fantasy, your own something to do with your protective mechanisms of self-protection, right? And withdrawing and seeking counsel from within, and connecting to, perhaps closing off and connecting to this kind of divine feminine energy, which could be, I don't know, women in your life who have passed over, right, that you're trying to get counsel from, or seeking guidance from your understanding of kind of Mother Earth, something like this. It's almost like if you imagine yourself, to kind of remove gender from it for a second, so don't worry if you're he, she, they. Imagine yourself with a big pregnant belly, right? And it's like you are your own baby. You are the parent, and you are also the child within yourself, right? Within your pregnant stomach, right? So it's like there's something about, because you have the snake card as well here, like there's something about nurturing yourself as though you're going to give birth to your new self. I told you it's going to be a bit of a profound reading, but that's the way that it is kind of coming through. And you can see as well, like the, almost like if the world, just with the shape, it's like if the world is there and you're going in, like maybe literally into a cave, right? It's like you're going into the center of the earth, and what you're finding in the center of the earth is the cosmic womb, right? This brilliant white, bright, divine light, which you can see kind of like shining out through this crack. I'm not sure. I told you it's coming through as really profound. And it's one of those where I'm like, I just have to speak and tell you what I'm seeing, and you can interpret it as you see fit. In Cancer's reading, and Cancer being a sign that's connected with divine feminine energy, they were doing a very, very similar thing. They had this Sweat Lodge card, and in their reading, it was a different card that came up, but they had this card with all these spider webs and cobwebs on. And I was saying it's like dream catchers, right? If you know like how dream catchers work, they say to protect you from bad spirits or bad dreams and nightmares. So this idea of like the cobwebs as something that's protective. So I'm seeing the cobwebs almost as like a covering or a blanket over the earth. Imagine like the clouds being a blanket that surrounds the earth, right? Something like that. But it's coming through as it's coming through as trapping you, actually. It's coming through as almost if you've ever had a blanket that's felt very warm and safe, you know, perhaps a feather duvet or something like that, and you've woken up in the middle of the night and you've been too hot and it's kind of like sweltering and suffocating, and you have to kind of like fight your way out of that blanket. This is the way it's coming through. It's like you're having to, something that was once very comforting to you, and kind of like a hug from your mother, or like a like a, being wrapped in a warm blanket. It was once very comforting, connected to this divine feminine energy, but now it's become something that is suffocating you. It's become something that is almost, if you think about a sweat lodge, right? If you think about a very dense, humid environment, it's become, you don't feel like you can breathe in it. So it then goes into this idea of fighting your way out of it, or fighting for control, maybe again trying to regain control over yourself. Just with this Chariot card, I just say as well, like, because you've got the Hunter card, it really just feel like being caught in the hunter's net with the cobweb, like being caught in the net. And the Spider Spirit is normally a sign of connectivity. It's normally very positive. It's a sign of that we're all connected, right? We're all connected by nature. We're all part of the water cycle. You know, every time I breathe out, I exhale tiny droplets of water, which go into the air, which become the clouds, which go into rain. You know, it's a whole, which I then, turns into water that I can then drink. So this idea of interconnectedness, and everything is, nothing goes anywhere, it's just transformed into something else. So this fascinating idea of like this interconnected blanket around us. Yeah, and with the, I'll go to the stars in the sky, this limitless possibility. I feel like, again, whatever this is for you, it has been limiting your possibility. Now, this card actually came out in reverse. So I want to say, limitless possibility, you should be able to really embody this divine feminine energy. Again, don't worry about your gender, she, he, they, it doesn't matter. It's talking about a part of you, right? A part of you that is whatever you would say is divine energy, divine feminine energy. And if you do represent as male and your persona is male, right, how you present to the world is male. If you look at Carl Jung and his philosophy, we all have like the anima and the animus as well, which is kind of like part of us. It's part of our, it's kind of in the back of our psyche. So it doesn't matter about how you identify and how you present in the world. It's an archetype that is within us somewhere as part of our psyche about what it means to be the divine feminine. So you could be male and have ideas about what that means. So it's digging that out of yourself and examining it and embodying it. Not in a way where it's like I'm asking you all to kind of go out and start wearing like makeup and wigs and things like this. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the part of you that whatever you think is that perfect divine energy, whatever you associate with positive femininity, whatever you seek. Again, you could be a woman and seeking female connection or seeking a mother figure. It's analysing what that means to you, and are there any ways that you could self-nurture and really kind of like pull that archetype out from within your own psyche, and feel what that energy feels like and just sit in it, right? Like absorb yourself in that energy. So whether you are a male and you're seeking a mother figure in your life, or you're seeking a partner, what would it feel like if you had that, right? And then it's like almost like if you could bottle it and sell it, like, and drink it and feel that energy radiate through you, what would that feel like, is the way that's coming through. I hope I'm making sense. I told you it's kind of a bit of an out there reading, but it's what it is. So this is something that's within you and fighting to come out. Excuse me a second. Okay, so this is something that's within you and it's fighting to come out, and it's beautiful and it's divine, right? It's made, like literally it's made of that stuff. And with it being in the reverse, it's like whatever this safety blanket is, this I don't know, whatever this container is, and it could be your own, again, it could be your own mask, right? Your own persona, your own, the way you present to the world. It's like there's something within you that is it's almost like the final form, right? There's something that is the there's something in you that's like the butterfly within the caterpillar, and it's trying to come out, but you're gonna have to fight your way out of this, is the way it's going through. With the honey badger, now I had to check with my daughter. I was like, is that a honey badger? She said yes, and she was like, honey badgers are a lot, right? And yes, they are. So honey badgers, they are a fighter, and they are a, like, they're kind of OP. They will fight lions. Like, if a lion is attacking them, they will turn around and they will bite the lion. So they have this kind of scrapper energy. It's like when they're down, they keep fighting. And with it being the Chariot card as well, there is this idea of like taking control, and taking back self-control and your own authority, right, within yourself. So it has this kind of like fight, this thing that's inside you, wanting to be free, and it's so kind of bright and hopeful and positive, and it's trying to fight its way out into to take off the sunglasses and be part of your persona. It's the way that that's talking to me. But you do have this hunter energy, and again, you have this feeling of something that is looking for you. It's like something is hunting you, and it could talk about the other ducklings, right, or something like this. It's like it could be talking about not that anything's literally hunting you, but it could be things that you fear, right, things that you that are a threat to you, things that make you feel unsafe in your world. Which is why you have the mask, right? Why you have the persona, and why you keep this part of yourself buried deep inside. And I want to say it's why perhaps spirit, or this divine feminine energy, has this nature goddess energy, because it's coming through the earth keepers as well. It's like this is why they've blanketed you in the first place, because they're hiding you from this hunter energy. So you have something here where you feel like you have this divine protection. You feel like you have this, again, with the spider spirit, the symbol of like the dream catcher, and it coming through as very, very earthy, right? The earth keeper. It almost feels like there's a myth about Apollo, and he falls in love with this nymph of the forest. I think she's like a water nymph, like a river nymph, or she's the daughter of a river nymph, and she's in this woodland, and Apollo gets hit by one of Cupid's arrows, and he falls like madly in love with Daphne. I'm sure it's Daphne, and I may have the name wrong, but I think it is Daphne, and she's terrified of Apollo, this god, right? And he's lusting after her, and he's in this hunter energy, right? He's in this mad with desire, like he just wants to get his hands on her, and she's scared, she's terrified, she runs from him, and she prays to her father, this river god, hide me from him. And he does, and he turns her into a tree. And this is what this feels like. It feels like you've felt like whatever this energy is inside you, right, whatever this divine light is inside you that you feel very, very connected to, and again, it could be a female figure that's passed on for you that you feel is almost a protective spirit. It's like you feel their presence, but you feel their presence within you. It's like you carry them in your heart, especially if they've connected to this kind of like mother nature goddess energy. It's like it's like wish granted kind of thing. It's like they turn you, these earth keepers hear you, and they turn you into one of them almost, because it's like she's transformed into a tree. So this is how I'm seeing this. I'm just wondering if I've got the book handy to show you this beautiful image. Hold on. Yeah, so on the front cover of my very battered copy of its Metamorphosis, which is one of my favourite books, this beautiful cover, and it is Apollo and Daphne. I was right, it's Daphne, and the sculptor is it Bernini. It's this amazing statue, and she's in the process, you can see here, of transforming into a tree, just out of his reach. And then you have this fascinating, look at these images. Like, this is how they came out, by the way. I didn't orchestrate this at all. This is exactly how the cards kind of aligned themselves. I just shuffled until cards came out, and then I kind of put them all together and reshuffled, and this created your story. But just look at how fascinating. It's like if the trees had a spirit, right, which is a belief system. I think of like Native Americans believe this, you know, nature spirits, spirits inherent in trees, in birds, in corn, you know. It's like these nature spirits are watching you, they are protecting you. And then just look at the fascinating similarities from completely different decks, right? Woodwives, adaptability, and Five of Earth. So I want to say you have almost like a chameleon-like energy, which could be to do with, perhaps with rainbows, it could be something to do with how light is manipulated, you know, understanding light and shadow, understanding where people's eye goes. You know, people's eye goes to the corn, they're not necessarily going to, their eye isn't necessarily going to go to the darkness where the panther is. So your ability to disguise yourself, your ability to wear the mask is actually a protective mechanism. It's actually a survival mechanism. It's actually something that keeps you safe and keeps you unseen. So it's part of your power, I want to say, to be able to manipulate the light, right? To create illusion, something like that, to hide in the shadows, to blend in with the woodland. You know, maybe it's something like camouflage. You know, my son's got this brilliant onesie set now where he's like, it's like a camo onesie set. So it's like, you know how camouflage is designed, like camouflage clothing is designed to like let you camouflage in trees and things like that. It could be something to do with that. Obviously don't be a creeper, don't be gross, but it's like if it's protective, kind of like hide and seek, right? If it's like if it benefits you to be unseen, to be to go unnoticed. Maybe you are, maybe, I don't know who's watching my videos, maybe one of you is like a celebrity and you can't go outside because you'll get like, you know, people will run over to you, they'll bother you. So you want to go to the corner shop, so you put on kind of like a hat and you put on sunglasses, you know, so you can walk around and not be noticed, right? There's a lot of reasons why you may need to camouflage yourself, and it does feel protective, and it does feel like nature's protecting you as well in a way. And it's kind of like this miracle, this realization of wow, it's amazing that I wasn't noticed. Wow, it's amazing that you know, nature provided the perfect cover for me when I needed to hide myself in that moment. And then you have this, the reading ends actually with this Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is learning. Page of Pentacles is coming up with a plan. But the wonderful thing about this is it's an octopus, and of course octopi are a master of disguise, right? They're so good at camouflaging as a defense mechanism, as a survival mechanism to hide from predators. So if you've ever watched my octopus teacher or any YouTube videos about how clever octopuses are, and how they really understand their environment, and they use the things in their environment in really, really ingenious and clever ways in order to survive and to thrive, right? So you are learning about your environment, you are learning how to fit in, you are learning how to disguise yourself when necessary, right? And you're learning when it's safe to show your authentic self, when it's safe to reveal yourself, who is a friend to you, right? Who sees the real you and accepts who you truly are. And part of that, I want to say, is accepting that you are a master of disguise, that you are adaptable, that you are very good at learning and adapting to new environments. Libra had some readings like this as well, this kind of chameleon energy of like being adaptable, and being able to fit in with different environments. So very, very, very curious. And you also have this, a tidy house. I don't know, maybe you need to tidy your house, but there's something to do with this. It says clarity and organization. So, I mean, the Page of Pentacles could be getting organized. But the hunter card, you can see how he's like looking in two different directions. So again, we could be talking about some kind of primal instinct within you, right? Some kind of hunter spirit within you. Of course, the hunters were incredibly important in kind of like caveman times, because they were the ones who went out and bravely risked, risked injury, or braved the outside world to bring back something to feed the family who would have been like what in the cave, right? Cavemen. It's like the hunters were heroic. The hunters were integral to the survival of the people, before people kind of figured out farming. And when people were hunter gatherers, the hunters were incredibly important, and they did understand the you know they did understand nature, and they did understand the idea of nothing wasted, right? Use every part. So there could be something to do with that as well. I'm not sure, but with this, it's almost like again, this idea of like the mask and the panther spirit. It's a bear. It's a bear, right? It's a bear, but you can see the shadowy spirit behind him. He's kind of looking two ways. So if we're talking about like the id, the shadow, the primal self, and then the persona, right, the part of us that fits in with the world, there could be something where I don't know if there's something about, maybe you've got Gemini in your chart. This is kind of like duality to it, right? Living two different lives or something like that. I don't know, or like looking in two different directions. I don't know, maybe somebody's looking for you, right? Maybe somebody's looking for you. Maybe you've, I don't know, in a bit of trouble with them. They're looking for you. They're checking your mum's house. They're checking your dad's house, right? But you're like hidden. You're like hidden out in the garden out the back, something like that. And you're thinking, thank goodness they didn't notice me. I don't know if it's something like that. I hope you're all okay, Leos. Don't get into trouble. But again, your adaptability, your ability to learn and grow in an environment, I think is going to be really key to your own recognition of your own power in 2023. I hope that makes sense. Again, it's one of those readings that I find kind of unclear to read. There's definitely a story going on, but how it applies to you exactly is uh, let's just get so this is going to be a totem for you for the next couple of weeks. What to look out for, sorry, my tummy's rumbling. What to look out for, like signs and spirits from signs and symbols from your own spirit guides, to point you in the right direction. So what do we have as a totem for Leo? We have gate. I don't know, watch out for gates, whatever gate means to you. And let's get you a song as well. So can we clarify for Leo, please, what is going on for them? Can you give them some clear guidance, some clear... I saved you the best gift at last. That's an advert. Hold on a second, I'm going to get past the advert. Okay, so the song that randomized for you was What Can I Say by Tayla Parx. And I need to pull up the lyrics because they're not actually on Spotify. What can I say? Tayla Parx. What can I say? What can I say? You put me in the mood. Your silly face, your dirty hair, and effed up attitude. You are no good for me. I want to make sure you know I know. One look from you could feel just like a touch. How do you know me so damn well? Am I that obvious? So that line, how do you know me so damn well? It's like somebody who sees your inner self, right? They know you better than you do, something like that. And I wonder how far you'd let me go. Because who in the world doesn't like some things that are a little bad for their heart? You could be tearing me apart, but baby, I know I would fall 1,000 times just to build you one more time. Live in the dying weather, falling and flying, baby. I would fall 1,000 times just to be there for the climb. Off in the sunset, or we're crashing and burning. Okay, make of that what you will. Take it as you will. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Leos, you've been very profound. Take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoy the holidays, no matter how you celebrate, or even if you don't celebrate. I hope you find it a worthwhile time. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Please be good. And yeah, best of luck in 2023. See you later. Bye.